Hello everyone. Welcome to the Igniting Curiosity in Life Science. So today we were exploring one of the very important, fascinating parts of cell biology, that is the membrane proteins. Okay, these are tiny molecular machines make the cell membrane much more than just a barrier. Right? Let's see the contents of the membrane proteins. So first thing, the membrane proteins. Here in this picture you can see that the cell, it is having the membrane. So in that what we are going to study the cell, okay, membrane. So let's see next one by one the main components of the membrane proteins. First one, the composition. So the fluid mosaic model of the cell membrane, what it is having. Okay, the plasma membrane is not just a layer of a fat. Okay, it is fluid mosaic made up of lipids, proteins and even the carbohydrates, right? So among these, proteins plays a very important role. They make up nearly half of the membrane's mass and are responsible for most of its functions, right? So next see what are the main types of membrane proteins. So here we can see that in the membrane proteins mainly we can see the two types, okay, integral proteins and the peripheral proteins. So integral proteins and the peripheral proteins. So what are those? So integral proteins are embedded within the lipid bilayer. So here you can see that it is the lipid bilayer, okay. So it is having two layers, and here what it is embedded in that the lipid bilayer, okay. Many of them are transmembrane proteins, meaning they span the entire membrane, okay, with hydrophobic regions inside and hydrophilic region exposed or outside to the water molecule, okay. And these proteins function as a channels or transporters or receptors, or even they act as a enzymes, okay. And for example, ion channels, okay, let charged particles like sodium and potassium, they move in and out of the cell, okay. These the integral proteins are very helpful in this process. Then coming to the peripheral, the proteins. So peripheral proteins on the other hand are loosely attached to the membrane surface, okay. As in the picture you can see that it is loosely arranged and are often bound to integral proteins or to the lipid heads, okay. So you can see that these are mainly they are placing in the, okay, lipid heads. So this is what a lipid bilayer structure, okay. This is what a head. So these proteins are mainly they are loosely attached to the membrane surface and often found to integral proteins or to the lipid heads, okay. They can be easily removed without damaging the membrane. They help maintain the main functions, that is cell shape, okay, anchored to the cytoskeleton, and even assist in the cell signaling process, okay. Next see what are the cell signaling process and all, okay. These are all what the main two types of the membrane proteins, right? Next, functions of a membrane proteins. So membrane proteins perform a variety of crucial functions, okay. Like you can see that in this picture, okay. It acts as the intercellular joinings, okay. In that what happens, proteins, it forms junctions, okay, to hold neighboring cells together, right? As you can see that in the picture, okay, these two proteins are held together, okay, that act as intercellular joinings and enzymatic activity. So some act as enzymes, so catalyzing reactions at the membrane surface. So this is what a enzyme, it acts as an enzyme activity and even as a transport. So channel and carrier proteins regulate the movement of ions and even the molecules across the membrane. So here in this picture you can see that these mainly act as a transport, that is active and the passive transport system, right? And cell to cell recognition. So in the glycoproteins, these mainly help cells identify each other, okay, essential for the immune response and all. In that also these proteins are very helpful as a cell recognition. Then anchorage or the attachment, okay. So some proteins it act as a attachment or it anchor the cytoskeleton inside the extracellular matrix to the outside, okay, and that is stabilizing the cells the shape, okay. That is what the function of the anchorage or the attachment. And the signal transduction. So receptor proteins especially, okay, they detect signals like hormones and trigger cellular response, okay, that act as the signal transduction. So these are all what the main functions of membrane proteins, okay. Next see what the free structure evidence. So this is nothing but what one of the most striking proofs of a protein embedding came from the freeze fracture technique. So here what we can see that when a scientist split frozen membranes, okay, they saw bumps and pits, okay. These were proteins embedded in the bilayer, so just like the fluid mosaic model predicted, okay. So next what the dynamic nature of proteins. So membrane proteins are not a static, okay, they can even move laterally within the bilayer. So some move very freely while others are anchored by the cytoskeleton or extracellular matrix, okay, to perform what the stable specialized functions, okay. So this is what all about the membrane proteins. And this overall we can say that membrane proteins are essential for various processes like transport, communication, recognition, and the structure, okay. They turn the membrane from a simple boundary to a selective gateway and a communication hub of the for the cell, okay. This is what all about the cell membrane, cell membrane, that is what protein. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more biology videos. This is Savita, igniting curiosity in life science. Thank you.